Hey, it's Thursday, time for their Action Figure Adventures video here on SEO Toy Review. Today, Baby Skeletor and I are taking a look at Commander Karg. Karg is part of the William Stout Collection based on the Masters of the Universe movie from the 80s. The back of his package features some new artwork of Karg, shows off the 4 figures in the William Stout Collection, as well as the final 4 figures from the club's Grayskull Filmations collection. Pause it here to read Commander Karg's bio. Here we have Commander Karg out of the package, and I've got to say he's the character from this wave I'm the least excited about. One, because, he's up against He-Man and Skeletor, but two, we already got him before. While Mattel was making the Masters of the Universe Classics line, they were unable to make characters based on the movie. So we were getting movie characters that had been vintage figures, and in the case of Karg, he was based on a comic book appearance, which is why he had green skin and yellow hair and a blue outfit. And he's a decent figure. Not what the fans really wanted. We did actually want this gold and black figure with the white hair, but that was the best I could offer. And he's a decent figure. So now, Super 7 has convinced the right people and gotten through whatever loopholes they need to give us the William Stout collection. We finally got Karg the way we really wanted him, but it's just a paint job, really. So it's less exciting, even though it's what I really want. It just kind of makes, in a way, like, some of the Filmation characters were sort of the same way. Was the Filmation Triclops really that important when you have the standard Triclops? They're not that different. But it is kind of fun having the variations, and that's what this line's all about, so I don't really want to complain. They are pretty much exactly the same accessories, sculpt, everything, other than one thing. The only thing I could find that was all different is his hook hand. The artist for the comic must not have gotten a good photo of Karg's hook in the movie, so he just gave him a Captain Hook kind of hook, and now we finally have him with his more devious-looking weapon of torture type hook that he had in the film. Like the other figures in the William Stout collection, Karg has amazing sculpting and amazing details in his paint. Of course, this was all done by the Four Horsemen, the same sculptors, but this was done previously under the Mattel reign, and then repainted now with Super 7. So the head sculpt is incredible. Lots of gross and disgusting details in that face. Nice details in the hair. He's got those big ears. You can see there's a lot of texturing in the fur on his cape there. He has articulation at the head, but it barely moves because he's got the big hair that gets in the way of his big shoulder pads and his big cape and everything else that's so bulky on this figure. He has articulations at the shoulders. His shoulder pads do move out of the way a fair amount, considering the big hair, the big shoulder pads, and everything, but it does hinder his articulation. He has swivels at the biceps. He has bends at the elbows. He has a swivel at the hook. On the other side, similar articulation. He does have a pivot at the wrist, and my joint here is frozen at the swivel. I cannot get it to swivel. I tried heating it up with a heat gun. It's not worth breaking a $40 action figure to show you that it is supposed to bend. I don't know if there's a blob of paint in there or what. I'm not really going to play with this guy. He's going on a shelf after this review, so I'm not going to worry about it. If it was a $10 action figure, I would try a lot harder and get it to work, because, $10 action figures are meant to be played with. And this guy, as a collectible, I'm going to just go with the flow. He comes with a blaster. It's the same blaster that came with the other figure with a similar paint scheme. It might be slightly less detailed in the paint. Down below that, he has his armor plate on his chest. It covers pretty much all of the bare Masters of the Universe buck. He's got some armor sculpted on his waist here. He has an ab crunch as well as a swivel there. Down below his loincloth area has really nice details, including these cool little knives and things like that. He does come with one of those knives as an accessory, large enough for him to hold. It would be really cool if he could clip this on here. It also would be cool if it was painted the same. But maybe this is movie accurate, the blue handle on it. I do like that this knife is big enough that he can hold, but again, this is not a new accessory. The He-Man from this wave, the William Stout collection, comes with a couple knives that are just too tiny for him to hold, which is a shame. So it's nice that this one can be held in his hand. Below those hips, which are slightly hindered by the skirt piece, he's got knee joints. He's got boot cuts that are a little lower than usual down below this cuff on his boot. He's got ankle rockers, but I don't see any pivot in them. His cape is a dark red with a black wash on it that looks very nice. The underside is black with just a little red trim there. It looks really good. Again, it's interesting with the He-Man in this line coming with that cloth goods cape and no one else ever really having a cloth goods cape in the entire Masters of the Universe Classics line. It's definitely cool having Commander Karg here in his movie colors. Would I rather have had Beastman, Evil Lyn, or Skeletor's Troopers? Absolutely. Do I understand why Super 7 would jump at the chance to sell us a repaint figure? Oh, for sure. This figure probably paid for the fact that there's so much new sculpting needed in He-Man. The movie Skeletor and God Skeletor shared a lot of parts that helped keep costs down. This guy was almost completely a repaint, but that new movie He-Man had to have been very expensive to produce. So I get it. I support the line. I'm almost a completist when it comes to Masters of the Universe Classics, so I don't mind getting him. And I kind of like this one more than the comic version anyway. So that's kind of my impression. Not a super critical figure to have, but definitely well executed. I was planning on ending this review with a shot of all of the movie era figures we've seen in the Classics line, but for some reason I can't find my Sarad figure, and I have no idea where he is. So since it was going to be incomplete anyway, I scrapped that idea. Sorry about that for the imperfection of this review. Thanks for watching this Action Figure Adventures video. Do Baby Skeletor a favor, hit that like and subscribe button.